We will acquit him in a week, and we will get Democrats to join us. Lindsey Graham predicts outcome of Donald Trump's impeachment trial hours after being sworn in to deliver impartial justice-Sen. Lindsey Graham predicted on Hannity that President Trump's Senate trial would only last a week. Graham said he thought that Trump would be acquitted in the Senate and some Democrats would defect and vote alongside Senate Republicans. The South Carolina Republican said he believed Democrats would pay a political price for impeaching Trump. He also said he thought Trump would be off the hook by the February 4th State of the Union address. Graham made the comments Thursday night, several hours after the Chief Justice and the 100 senators were sworn in to begin Trump's Senate trial, but he puts himself at odds with Susan Collins of Maine, a moderate Republican facing a tough re-election race, who says she is open to witnesses by Nikki Schwab, Sr. Use political reporter for DailyMail.com published 13:10 Greenwich Mean Time, the 17th of January 2020, updated 15:45 Greenwich Mean Time, the 17th of January 2020. Sen. Lindsey Graham predicted President Trump would be acquitted by a bipartisan Senate after a week-long impeachment trial, giving the president a political bump before his February 4th State of the Union address. Graham presented that sunny picture to Fox News Channel's Sean Hannity during an interview Thursday night. "I'm hoping this can be done in about a week and I predict a bipartisan acquittal of President Trump," Graham said. The Senate impeachment trial will begin in earnest on Tuesday, but has the potential to last much longer than a week as Republicans and Democrats squabble over whether new witnesses and documents should be permitted. Democrats have yet to see the resolution Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will present to outline the rules of the Senate trial, but Chuck Schumer, the Democratic Minority Leader, is expected to force a vote on Tuesday demanding witnesses are called. That is expected to fail, but he has another opportunity after the Democratic impeachment managers, effectively the prosecution, and Donald Trump's defense have finished their cases. When that comes, he will try to squeeze moderate Republicans to back witnesses. On Thursday, Susan Collins said she was being misunderstood by critics who say she will vote against witnesses and hinted she was open to them, while Mitt Romney has said he could be too. Sen. Lindsey Graham painted a sunny picture of President Trump's Senate impeachment trial, telling Sean Hannity that he expected it to last only a week. Sen. Lindsey Graham expected President Trump to be acquitted by a bipartisan Senate before the president delivers his February 4th State of the Union address in the House chamber. Graham's comments came in the hours following the official Senate kickoff of the trial, with Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts Wright being sworn in by Senate President pro tempore Chuck Grassley, left, so he can preside over the Senate trial. That was followed by Chief Justice John Roberts administering the oath to the 100 senators who will serve as impartial jurors for the course of the trial. Graham's claim of a rapid acquittal came at the close of a day when Supreme Court Justice John Roberts arrived on the Senate floor to be sworn in. Roberts will preside over Trump's impeachment trial and quickly got to work swearing in the 100 senators, who will serve as impartial jurors. On Hannity, Graham, a top ally of Trump's, railed against Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's insistence on having additional witnesses testify as part of the trial, calling it an attack on executive privilege. "I hope that nobody will be called as a witness," Graham said, explaining the Democrats had their chance during the House investigation to call some of Trump's top people, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton, acting White House Chief of State Mick Mulvaney, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. They chose not to call them, Graham insisted, calling out the Senate's top Democrat by name. Graham added, "Chuck Schumer is not seeking the truth. If you think Chuck Schumer is trying to find out what happened here, you're missing a lot. Chuck Schumer is trying to take back the Senate," Graham continued. He's trying to make the argument that if you don't call a witness you're trying to cover up for the president. The truth of the matter is that Chuck Schumer is willing to destroy executive privilege, Graham added. Schumer laid out the Democrats' demands in a press conference Thursday, saying the party would like to see the addition of 4 witnesses and 3 troves of documents. Schumer has called for testimony from former Bolton, Mulvaney's senior advisor Robert Blair, and Office of Management and Budget Associate Director for National Security Michael Duffy. Democrats have also floated Lev Parnas, the associate of Trump's personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani, who's been on a media spree this week, as someone who could offer testimony. parties turned over documents and messages to House Democrats before they transmitted the articles of impeachment over to the Senate on Wednesday. Graham also blasted Democrats more broadly and then predicted they'd pay a political price for putting Trump through impeachment. "They just hate this guy so much, Sean," Graham told Hannity. "From the time he got elected to now, it's been an unending effort to destroy his presidency." Graham recalled how the GOP lost 5 seats in the 1998 midterms, during the run-up to President Bill Clinton's December impeachment. Clinton got acquitted by the Senate in February 1999. "I think 2020 is going to be a blowout," Graham said. "There's going to be a backlash. Most Americans jealously guard the right to pick their own leaders. I think they're going to hold it against politicians who try to take that right away," he added. Graham then made his boldest prediction for what's to come, and on February 4th, when the president comes into the House chamber to deliver the State of the Union, he will have been acquitted by the Senate. "He'll be the strongest he's ever been politically, and when it comes to Donald Trump, the best is yet to come," Graham said. Read the articles of impeachment against Donald Trump in 1,414 words. The articles of impeachment passed by the House of Representatives Wednesday lay out 2 charges against President Donald Trump. Article 1. Abuse of power. Using the powers of his high office, President Trump solicited the interference of a foreign government, Ukraine, in the 2020 United States presidential election. Accused, Donald Trump has 2 articles of impeachment against him. He did so through a scheme or course of conduct that included soliciting the government of Ukraine to publicly announce investigations that would benefit his re-election, harm the election prospects of a political opponent, and influence the 2020 United States presidential election to his advantage. President Trump also sought to pressure the government of Ukraine to take these steps by conditioning official United States government acts of significant value to Ukraine on its public announcement of the investigations. President Trump engaged in this scheme or course of conduct for corrupt purposes in pursuit of personal political benefit. In so doing, President Trump used the powers of the presidency in a manner that compromised the national security of the United States and undermined the integrity of the United States democratic process. Article 2. Obstruction of Congress. As part of this impeachment inquiry, the committees undertaking the investigation served subpoenas seeking documents and testimony deemed vital to the inquiry from various executive branch agencies and offices, and current and former officials. In response, without lawful cause or excuse, President Trump directed executive branch agencies, offices, and officials not to comply with those subpoenas. President Trump thus interposed the powers of the presidency against the lawful subpoenas of the House of Representatives, and assumed to himself functions and judgments necessary to the exercise of the sole power of impeachment, vested by the Constitution in the House of Representatives. In the history of the Republic, no president has ever ordered the complete defiance of an impeachment inquiry or sought to obstruct and impede so comprehensively the ability of the House of Representatives to investigate high crimes and misdemeanors. This abusive office served to cover up the president's own repeated misconduct and to seize and control the power of impeachment, and thus to nullify a vital constitutional safeguard vested solely in the House of Representatives. Let's block ads. Why?